Wow. I just finished up that movie. There's a lot of wow at the end of that movie. I'm gonna go full spoilers on this, so full warning. Toshiro Mifune um, dies. Gets shot by one of the bad guys, and it's one of the greatest scenes I think I've ever seen on film. It's it's pretty fucking amazing. Because the bad guy shoots the samurai. Charles Bronson shoots the bad guy who knew where the treasure was hidden. The only one who did know where the treasure was hidden. And then swears to take the fucking sword that is the gift from the emperor to the president to the authorities. And to do that, the samurai's like, "You're gonna have to turn yourself in." And he's like, "I'll worry about that." And at the end of the movie, the train comes by or whatever, and he's riding off, and you see the sword is hanging where the mailbag should be, and he's riding off into the sunset. Amazing movie. So basically, the only person who was going to get that sword down from there was the U.S. mail, and I'm guessing that they'd probably put two and two together on the whole stolen sword thing. The samurai died trying to do what he was going to do. I think that's the admirable part about samurai isn't like the suicide and shit. It's the I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. It's pretty hardcore. It makes them pretty intimidating, really. I need to watch samurai movies, apparently. I don't think that would be good for me right now, but it doesn't need an obsession with katanas when you're broke. Yeah, that probably won't end well. Where did my remote go? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm trying to see more shit about the samurai movies that are like this. Ursula Andress is in this, and she's banging. There's like titties galore in this movie, and they're nice titties. Like, what else? Uh, the sword never draws blood. I thought that was disappointing. They're carrying around this ancient sword that's a gift for fucking the president or whatever, and they don't ever use it to kill anyone. That seems like a missed opportunity. I'm sure the thought is to honor the gift or whatever. You don't use it in combat or whatever, but it would be badass to kill people with the president's gift sword. I don't know. That's how I would feel about it. There's a lot of Indian attack in the middle of the movie, and there's even a part where the bad guy and the good guy both have guns, both in the same building, both shooting at Indians, both turn at each other with guns and go, "We got bigger problems," and both turn back to the Indians. It's hilarious. There's a quote I like that's only a fool fights in a burning house. That's that's pretty much what they were in. In fact, I think it was on fire or soon to be. And then there's the whole long grass shit. The end of the movie happens in the long grass, and samurai and long grass go together like I don't know, cocaine and waffles. Like it's just you should always do them together, I guess, because like it's like the velociraptors hunting in Jurassic Park or whatever in the long grass, like but it's a fucking samurai. It would be even more badass to see a group of them like in the long grass ambushing someone. Well, I think I'm gonna keep this pretty short here because this is just kind of my thoughts on like the end of the movie. Uh, it's not really a full review. Like I said, I've just watched this for the first time, but I think this is the movie many of you would like to see because this is what Mandalorian is based on, 100%. Like I saw that it took both of these elements and fused them together. I didn't get that that had been done before. Like there's several of these like westerns made in the 70s where it's like they tried mixing genres. If you ever want a fun one to watch, The Frisco Kid has Han Solo and Gene Wilder in it. And Gene Wilder is a he's like an Orthodox Jew, like a Hasidic Jew with the yarmulkes and the whole thing, and the yarmulke and the fucking. That's a funny movie. Might have to go find that next. It's kind of a spaghetti western, but with a comedian and Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford can play a cowboy, obviously. Like that's Indiana Jones and Han Solo are cowboys. Just so you get that. Like Indiana Jones is like many things, but the hat and gun combo, I think, plus his riding of horses many times, plus growing up in the American West, I think it would be fair to say. Not to mention he carries a revolver. It's just cool. I don't know why we all obsess over these things, but it sure is fun. And like it's movies like this that make me appreciate weapons even more, really. I think that's the thing that I like about these films is they have preserved this thing that we're missing from the 1970s. It's 100% what's going on right now. Is like this same shit happened before in the 60s, and the 70s were the cure for it. Guess we got the 80s to look forward to in a decade at least. The thing that I see is missing from modern film that they had in the 70s is this embodies masculinity in a nutshell. And the reason that you probably haven't seen this played much is he flat out bitch slaps a hooker. And in fairness, I don't hit women, and I would have hit her. Okay. So what she did was seduce him and then draw his gun on him and then try to shoot him. And all he did was slap her. In the world that they're depicting, if that was a man, she would have been shot in the head. This is the nature of men and women. And this is some of the things that like women today do not get. They don't get that men for 100,000 million years have just had to beat each other to death just to get along. And now they've like made this fully feminized world where I I can't even exist. And I'm a trans woman. Like, when you've gone so far fucking feminine that, you're making the world just go crazy for no reason. I think that's a little bit of what's going on is that, like, we raised a generation of women to take charge, but in reality, women are women and men are men. And some of these other countries that we are dealing with are men. They're being led by men and they're acting like men. And if you do that and act the way that we're acting, you're going to get a war. Period. Plain and simple. If you act like food, you're going to be food. Welcome to the world. That's my thoughts on Red Sun. The bonus content is brought to you by feminism. Feminism can be fought in large or small doses with copious amounts of oral sex. That's how I like to fight it anyway. I find a really slutty blowjob is like the perfect answer to feminism, really. I'm me and like my own person and whatever, but at the same time, like given the nature of our world now, when I have sex, I I kind of like the caveman style, I guess. I think most girls do. I think that's one of the big lies is like I don't want to be raped. I would like my husband to be so sexually attracted to me that I can't really say no. And there's a big difference there. Big difference. And I think like that's the fine line that a lot of men don't get in this whole dichotomy is that yes, a woman does want to be fucked more than likely. Okay? Especially once she's warmed up to the idea. Like foreplay, gentlemen. Foreplay is your friend. That's all I'm going to say. I'm really going to cut it off here now before this gets any worse. Although it's getting pretty fun. Maybe I should just keep going. I'm going to end this here. Start up another one, just talk about dating.